in your lives.
Listen closely, chosen one. This message is not a coincidence. It's a divine interruption. You were scrolling, searching, wondering why certain doors closed, why people left, why seasons shifted, and God sent this word to warn you, do not return to what He has already delivered you from. You've prayed for freedom. You cried for release. You begged heaven to break the chains. And when He finally did, when He pulled you out of that dark place, the enemy began whispering, maybe it wasn't so bad. Maybe you can go back just for a moment. But this is not a time to look backward. The season you were delivered from was never meant to be revisited. It was meant to be buried. Chosen one, do you remember how heavy it felt? The nights you couldn't sleep? The prayers that felt unanswered? The constant warfare? The people who drained your spirit? The places that kept you small? God didn't bring you out of that to test your nostalgia. He brought you out to protect your destiny. You asked Him for peace, and He separated you from chaos. You asked Him for purpose, and He removed distractions. You asked Him for clarity, and He exposed what was false. That's not rejection, that's redirection. When Israel left Egypt, they still longed for the taste of bondage. They said, "We remember the food, the comfort," but they forgot the chains. Don't let the enemy paint your past in colors that hide the pain. What God freed you from was never meant to feel like home again. There's a law in the Spirit. When God delivers, the enemy deceives. The moment freedom is granted, temptation follows. Why? Because deliverance exposes weakness, and the enemy will always test if you've really let go. He'll send old relationships, familiar voices, old habits, and former fears, not because they belong to your future, but to see if your heart still recognizes them. The devil doesn't fight what he still owns, he fights what has escaped his grasp. So if you're feeling pulled backward, that's proof of your progress. Chosen one, hear this clearly. If you return to what God rescued you from, the next cage will be stronger. The next heartbreak deeper. The next lesson harsher. Because you're no longer ignorant, you're accountable for what you know. God's mercy opened the first door of escape. But His warning now is the door of wisdom. Don't go back to environments that suffocate your anointing. Don't entertain people who drain your faith. Don't flirt with temptations you once prayed to be freed from. You can't be the new you in the old place. You can't carry resurrection power while clinging to dead things. You've come too far to start over. You've healed too much to reopen the wound. The loneliness you sometimes feel is not a sign to return. It's an invitation to rest. God separated you to strengthen you. He took you into isolation to teach you how to hear His voice again. Don't confuse isolation with abandonment. You're not alone, you're in incubation. The silence is sacred. The stillness is strategy. Every person who walked away was divinely repositioned. Every opportunity that closed was divine protection. You're not missing out, you're being made ready. You see, deliverance is not just leaving something, it's becoming someone. The Israelites left Egypt, but Egypt didn't leave them immediately. God had to take 40 years to detox their mindset before they could handle the promised land. And that's what's happening to you. The reason you feel tension is because your spirit has moved forward, but your emotions are still catching up. Your calling has already shifted, but your comfort is trying to hold you hostage. But hear this, your future is allergic to your past. You can't carry yesterday's identity into tomorrow's purpose. There's a reason God shuts certain doors so violently. There's a reason He made it impossible for you to go back. Because if He didn't, your compassion would have convinced you to stay in captivity. He broke that relationship because you were worshiping connection more than conviction. He ended that job because comfort was replacing calling. He let that friendship fade because loyalty was blinding your discernment. When God delivers, He disconnects, not to punish, but to preserve. So what do you do now? You guard your peace like it's treasure. You protect your purpose like it's sacred. You stop explaining your growth to those committed to misunderstanding you. When people from your past resurface, discern their purpose. Are they there to learn or to lure? To witness your rise or to weaken your resolve? You owe them love, but not access. Forgiveness does not mean re-entry. Chosen one, you are not who you used to be. Say it out loud. I am delivered. I am chosen. I am not going back. Every time you speak it, the old doors lose their power. You're stepping into a new realm, one that requires purity, focus, and trust. God is not trying to take joy from you, He's trying to multiply it. The things He removed were placeholders, not promises. Soon, He will replace what you lost with something built to last. Better relationships, deeper peace, true prosperity. But the key to receiving the new is releasing the old. You can't pour new wine into old wineskins. Heaven is saying, don't look back. Your deliverance was sealed by divine decree. What once trapped you can no longer hold you unless you return willingly. That addiction no longer defines you. That trauma no longer limits you. That season no longer identifies you. You are a walking testimony that grace wins. You are proof that God still rescues, and your story will free others if you don't go back to rewrite it. Say this with me: I release what no longer serves me. I close every door God has closed. I will not return to what He has delivered me from. My freedom is final, and my purpose is unfolding. When you declare it, chains break in the unseen. Every attachment that still tries to pull you backward begins to lose power. In this next chapter, you will walk lighter. You will feel clarity returning. Dreams will reignite. Creativity will flow again, because the clutter of the past has been cleared. You'll meet people who recognize your spirit, not your scars. You'll enter rooms that match your anointing. You'll carry peace that can't be shaken. This is your Canaan season, not a desert of survival, but a land of promise. Sometimes deliverance feels like loss because freedom always costs something. You had to lose people, comfort, and illusions, but what you gained was authenticity. God didn't just free your hands, He freed your heart. You are no longer who you were when the pain began. You've evolved. You've been reborn through fire, through silence, through prayer. You are as the living proof that surrender is stronger than struggle. So listen, if that old voice calls again, don't answer. If that old temptation knocks, don't open the door. The enemy doesn't change his tricks, he just changes the timing. Don't trade. For Archer, you don't see his tricks, he just changes the timing. Don't revisit your Egypt because the wilderness feels unfamiliar. Comfort is not calling. Calling is calling. Chosen one, this is your time to move forward with fire, to burn every bridge that leads back to bondage, to walk in holy confidence knowing that the same God who delivered you once will sustain you now. The enemy can't curse what God has cleansed. The past can't claim what grace has redeemed. You are free, completely, eternally, undeniably free. And freedom is not a feeling, it's a decision. In the coming days, you will feel lighter. Old thoughts will try to return, but you'll recognize them as lies. The peace you feel now is not temporary, it's transformation. Guard it. Grow it. Let it guide you. Because God is writing a new chapter, and your past is not invited to the table. So lift your head, chosen one. Heaven is proud of you. You've been delivered once. Stay delivered, because the God who brought you out will never call you back in.